What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and I'm finally bringing you guys some Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Wi-Fi battle content. So if you guys are excited for Wi-Fi battle content returning to the channel, please be sure to drop a like on the video, watch till the end of the video, and make sure to comment on the question of the day, which is going to be, which Pokemon would you like to see me utilize in a future BDSP Wi-Fi battle? Now today we are utilizing a team consisting of Melodic, Gyarados, Dragonite, Flygon, Kingdra, and Tropius. A lot of dragons on our team, and the reasoning for that is because this video is sponsored by Dragon City. Dragon City is a free-to-play game where you can collect thousands of different dragons which have different elemental types and rarities. Train up your dragons and take them into battles and make them more powerful. Breed 2 dragons together to get new, stronger dragons and feed them to evolve. You gather food, gold, and gems in order to expand your city and discover new dragons. You can find dragons of your favorite YouTubers, like my favorite YouTuber Dream. This month they partner up with Unspeakable. I hope one day I'm relevant enough to get my own dragon. There are several events every week and a new battle pass to discover where you can unlock new rewards and dragons daily. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description and get a special free reward to get you started, which includes 15,000 food, 30,000 gold, and the Scout Dragon to get you started. Thanks Dragon City so much for sponsoring this video. So as you can see, I do have Milotic on my team, and if you guys didn't see a video I posted around a week ago, I actually got a shiny Feebas by mistake, just trying to hatch for a bold nature on my Feebas, but we have a modest shiny Melodic, and we also have a shiny Gyarados on our team because my friend bred a shiny Magikarp, and they actually duped it, and I duped my Feebas before we updated our game, so we kind of like exchanged our shiny children, and so now I have their shiny Gyarados. We also have Pimpnut, the Dragonite. We have Scarflagon, the old reliable from Gen 4. We have Kingdra, and we have Tropius. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Milotic and Gyarados aren't dragon types. Well listen, Lance uses Gyarados. Milotic is the LGBT Gyarados because they have the same base set total. Tropius also gets Dragon Dance, and Tropius is quad weak to ice, just like two other Pokemon on my team, so it fits on this team perfectly. And my opponent here has a pretty cool team. They have Infernape and Electivire, which are just really awesome Pokemon, some of my favorites from Gen 4. They also have Cloyster and Azumarill, which are very scary given one free turn of setup. They can just like win the game from there. And they also have Tangrowth and Gengar, so a pretty cool team on my opponent's behalf. So let's get into this battle against Flame, who decides to lead off with their shiny Infernape, which looks amazing in BDSP. I'm not gonna lie, as I'm gonna lead off with my, oh actually not my shiny Gyarados, my friend shiny Gyarados named Bloodbath, and I'm going to intimidate this Infernape just to lower its attack, which is pretty good for me because I get to set up a Dragon Dance against the Infernape, although I'm not Dragon Dance, believe it or not. Even though this is a Dragon theme team, I decided not to run Dragon Dance on my Gyarados. So my opponent's gonna switch out of the Infernape and bring out their Electivire, which is a pretty decent play. It was kind of risky because if I clicked Earthquake, this shit was dead, but I don't even carry Earthquake, so my opponent just decided to bring the Electivire. They've probably predicted Dragon Dance and might be Scarf. I'm not too sure, but I'm just switching out, not wanting to take Electric move, and I'm going to make a very obvious switch into my Tony Flygon, my Scarf Flygon, as my opponent makes the pretty obvious play going for Wild Charge. I thought they would just Ice Punch me in the face, but I never want to overestimate the opponent, especially in Wi-Fi battles. You just never can be too sure if they're just going to play super obvious or not. And you can just outplay yourself, so it's good to, you know, feel the opponent out before you make big reads. Unless you like know the opponent's skill beforehand, it could like backfire. So I just U-turn out as my opponent's gonna bring in the Azumarill, and I just get some offensive momentum with the Brain Dead U-turn move. And I'm gonna bring in my Fruit Loop here, my Tropius. So some of you guys might remember this set from my Gen 7 era, and if you don't remember this set, you're in for a treat because this Tropius set is so funny. It's not the most viable set because, you know, it's Tropius, but I just really wanted to use Tropius because it's one of my favorite grass types. I go for a Dragon Dance here with my Tropius. I don't have Dragon Dance on my Gyarados. I have Dragon Dance on my Tropius, the true Dragon type of this team. Now I'm going to go for a substitute here with my Tropius to, you know, get myself behind a sub so I can just scat out what this Tangrowth wants to do. As they decide to go for Sleep Powder, which is kind of like a beginner's mistake, but maybe my opponent hasn't played since like Gen 4 or 5 where you could use Sleep Powder versus grass types. So regardless though, I set up a substitute and just can keep going for Dragon Dance because my opponent made a pretty big mistake there. I'm pretty happy with that because that means maybe Tropius can do something in its very first Wi-Fi battle, because this is my first Wi-Fi battle ever played on BDSP. That's singles anyway. I did play some doubles, but this is my first singles battle ever. So my opponent's gonna go for a knockoff, revealing that their move to hit me is knockoff, which is very good news for me because I could survive a knockoff behind a substitute if my item gets consumed, and that's what I'm gonna go for here because that's like the Tropius strat anyway with this set. So I just keep going for sub as my opponents just keep going for knockoff. Very straightforward, not much else to say, but here I go for substitute. And now we're going to Nom 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 on my Lychee Berry. So we get another attack boost. Now we're at +3 attack with this Tropius, as my opponent's gonna go for the knockoff, and I'm really hoping it doesn't break my sub, as thankfully it doesn't. So now I can just go for fly behind a sub, and this is kind of like the strat because fly gives you free turns for harvest to give you more lychee berry procs. And as you can see here, I get the harvest, get my lychee berry, and I'm at +4 attack. And now I can just, you know, go for fly into Tangrowth. My opponent's like thinking like, I guess I just gotta let this thing die, and that's so true. So fly's gonna hit Tangrowth, knock it out. I'm sure that just like barely knocked it out because Tropius has like 0 attack, but this is stab +3 fly versus like a Tangrowth that's weak to it, so that's very good for me. The Tangrowth goes down, and comes a Azumarill, and I'm assuming my opponent's gonna go for an Aqua Jet to break my substitute, so then like Cloyster can finish me off with the Ice Shard, but they decide not to go for Aqua Jet as Leaf Blade will one-shot the Azumarill. I thought for a second they may have been Sap Sipper, but no, they just let me knock out the Azumarill, which is good news for me. Down goes the Azumarill, and now my opponent is going to send out the Cloyster, and I'm thinking they might be like Sash, Shell Smash, and then go for Icicle Spear to knock me out afterwards, which would be a good way to deal with it. But I just go for Leaf Blade just to see if I can bring it onto a Sash, and then, you know, from there I might be able to like just endgame sweep with like Kingdra, but they are not Sash on the Cloyster, and Leaf Blade just knocks him out. So this is going to be an epic Tropius sweep looking at it at this point. But no, they actually just rage quit. So my very first Wi-Fi battle ends in a rage quit. Very fitting for the channel. Thank you, opponent, for letting me put rage quit in the title. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that rage quit. I know that opponent wasn't the most experienced battler in the world, but I wanted to showcase the first Wi-Fi battle I had in BDSP, which ended up in a DC. So I thought you guys might enjoy that epic Tropius sweep. But worry not, I do have a second battle for y'all against this opponent who has a very scary team. They have Clefable, Blaziken, Latios, which are very scary for my team to deal with. And then they also have Swampert, Gliscor, and Scizor. So a very sweaty team, but my team will do its best. I do have Pimpnut, and with Pimpnut's Theme Team Power Boost, I might be able to get through this. So let's get into this battle against Justin, who decides to lead off with their Swampert. And Swampert's really cool to see because it gives me like some nostalgia from like Gen 4 Wi-Fi battles, because Swampert was let off all the time, and it's just nostalgic to see it being let off here. Now, normally I'd be in a pretty bad spot because they can just get up rocks for free and then like roar me out if I set up a Dragon Dance. However, my Gyarados carries Taunt because I'm not a normal Dragon Dance Gyarados set. Despite the fact that the Dragon Pink team, we are a supportive Gyarados. So I go for Rain Dance because when my friend traded me this Gyarados and knew Rain Dance, and so I'm like, I'm just going to make this a supportive Gyarados as opposed to a Dragon Dance sweeper and see how it goes. And my opponent's going to go for Ice Beam here, probably predicting the Tropius to switch in. I was thinking about switching it in there too, so I'm very grateful I didn't. And now I can go for a Rain Boosted Waterfall to chip down the Swampert. It does do over half, so I'm like, wow. I thought it would take it way better, and now they're gonna freaking come on my face, but Gyarados is loyal to Milotic. They are a lesbian couple, so I don't get Scald Burned. And now I'm like, I could just Waterfall and kill this thing, and nothing really wants to switch into a Rain Boosted Waterfall. Latios is like their only real water resist, and they take a while here to decide who they're going to switch into a Waterfall, and they decide just to let Swampert die to the Waterfall because like nothing wants to switch into a Rain Boosted Waterfall from Gyarados. If it's Unaware Clefable, like it'd still take a lot of damage because Unaware doesn't ignore weather, so that's actually like the one benefit to Rain Dance Gyarados, aside of it being of support. It makes Waterfall hit harder, and it can't, you know, I don't know, it's fun. I just wanted to use Rain Dance. You're probably like, why don't you just use Drizzle? Because, oh, you banned Drizzle, and so I gotta use Manual Rain. And that's why. So my opponent's gonna drop a Draco here, and I have no switch-in, so my opponent's gonna drop a Draco. And I'm hoping Azura can live it, and Azura actually eats it up way better than I thought she would. I know Azura tanking up a Draco Meteor is kind of like ironic because Azura, you know, is a reference to Fire Emblem. And, you know, Azura's like not tanky in that game at all. She actually like dies to anything. So naming Milotic after Azura is kind of like weird, but she has the blue hair and she is a water type, and it fit, okay? Shut up. So my shiny Milotic is going to go for a nice Scald here. I should have clicked Recover, but I thought they would switch into something more aggressively, like a Scizor, so I tried to Scald Burn it on the switch-in, but they bring Clefable. It does take a good chunk of damage because of the Rain-boosted Scald, and I am Modest Nature on my Milotic. I'm not max special attack, though. I think I have, like, 76 special attack EVs. I forgot, like, exactly how I invested my Milotic, but gonna go for another Scald, and it is almost a 3-hit KO, and we do get a burn, which shouldn't matter because of Magic Guard, as now they're gonna go for a Calm Mind. I'm like, oh, you're greedy. I don't think you can live a Scald as long as the rain's up. I mean, I'm not really keeping track of rain turns, for being honest, because Sword and Shield normally tells you if you like check, but in BDSP, they don't give you that information. So just like the old days, you gotta keep track of everything yourself, and I don't have the brain cells for that. But it is just like the Gen 4 era, so I can't complain. I can't complain. So my opponent's gonna just, you know, try to like stall me out, but they can't. They go for protect, but like that's not going to save you, sweetie. You're actually unaware and not magic guard because they're taking damage from burns. They're not even getting like lefty's recovery. I don't know if they were like, they thought they were magic guard, but they accidentally like trained up a Q charm or misgened it. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they are unaware. I might be wrong, but Scald should not get out. Like the burn just gonna nullify lefties. So like, yeah, that's why you're on magic guard. Though I understand. Here they go for double protect though, and I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? You're just gonna make this game go to timer, and then the rain stops, and I'm like, oh, they kept better track of rain than I did, because I wasn't keeping track. Bitch, I don't have the brain cells for that. I was watching my friend stream. I wasn't really paying that much attention, because I don't really take Wi-Fi battles too seriously. But, yeah, now I don't think Scald's gonna knock out the Clefable, and I don't want to give this thing like the freest wish of his life, though it's kind of what I'm doing. I could have went for like a Scald crit maybe, but I didn't want to like stay in with Melodic, so I bring in Gyarados, my Bloodbath once again, and I'm going to Intimidate, which is useless because, you know, Clefable's not a physical attacker, it's a special attacker and like a sponge. And here they're gonna go for a Wish, and I'm like, oh, here we go. If they just didn't get double protect, this Clefable would be dead, but no, of course they get double protect, and now they can just protect again to get their wish back, and I don't think they're gonna like predict me to predict that because they can't really afford to. They're trying to make this Clefable stay alive because they're a little bitch, so they do go for protect, and obviously I did read that and go for Rain Dance, so we do get the rain back up. And now like the rain boosted waterfall should do around like 40%, so I could do that. However, I underestimated Gyarados for some reason. I don't know why. I was just like, Gyarados cannot break this. I'm so scared, and I don't want to lose to Clefable. I want to keep Gyarados for the Blaziken anyway. So I decided to not go for Waterfall here. And instead of going for Waterfall, I go for the Taunt because I can stop this thing from setting up Calm Minds and recovering anymore. So that's ideal for me. But they do predict me to go for Taunt and actually go for Moonblast here. I really thought they'd go for Wish again, but they go for Moonblast and, you know, lower my special attack, do a good chunk of damage, which doesn't really matter. But now that they're taunted, they're like forced to Moonblast. So now I'm like, wait a minute, I have an idea. I don't want to sack my Gyarados though. I could like Waterfall chip it down and then do my plan, but I decided to just switch out Gyarados instead. And now I bring in my Melodic once again because they are the lesbian couple. They gotta support each other. So in comes Melodic, the shiny lesbian couple. That's what me and my friend said. They are like an iconic couple together. But yeah, they're gonna go for Moonblast here, do a decent chunk of damage, lower my special attack, and actually give me my competitive boost, which is kind of useless because if they are unaware, which I'm 99% sure they are, they might be Q-Charm by mistake, but I'm pretty sure they are unaware. This competitive boost does not matter whatsoever, but the rain being up means Scald's gonna do some decent damage, but he might be thinking like, Weedle, the taunt's gonna wear off and they're just gonna kill you. But has Cynthia taught y'all nothing? Some of y'all might expect what's coming from that alone, but in comes Moonblast. Clefable outspeeds Milotic because I went for the Mirror Coat. So I go for Mirror Coat into the Clefable. It doesn't knock it out, but it puts it in range of the Rain Boosted Scald, I'm pretty sure. It's close, but I'm pretty sure a Rain Boosted Scald will knock out this Clefable. I'm just praying that they don't get like a quadruple protect and stall out my rain turns. And this was like my game plan. I could have like went for Rain Boosted Waterfall in hindsight, but I don't know. I was just like watching my friend stream and I like made this game plan while I was like watching. That's actually the friend I traded the Gyarados with, by the way. MB Fish. But yeah, Clefable goes down to Scald, and I'm feeling pretty good right now because Clefable being down with like a near Mono Dragon team is a very good feeling. Very good feeling. And now in comes the Blaziken, shiny Blaziken as a matter of fact. I could barely tell though, it is like a darker red. They are gonna go for close combat. I thought they might went for Sword Stance, so I just like stayed in and attacked because I didn't want to give Blaziken a free Sword Stance because that would have been very, very bad. But unfortunately, Azura's gonna go down here, but Azura helped me deal with the freaking Clefable. So I love you, Azura. And like Azura like forced out Latios, so I don't know. I'm happy with Azura's performance. And I'm gonna be using Azura more, don't worry. I gotta use my shiny Milotic way more. Now in comes Pimpnut. This is like my only check to Blaziken left outside of Gyarados, and I could have brought in Gyarados there, but I wanted to bring out my Pimpnut while the rain was up because my opponent brings in Scizor, expecting me to go for a Dragon Dance, but no, I am a mixed Dragonite. I go for the Hurricane, nearly OHKO the Scizor, and I'm surprised that it didn't OHKO, but Scizor is pretty bulky. If they're not like the Bandit set, I think they run like a lot of special defense and HP. I'm not too sure what Scizor's run in BDSP, but they're gonna go for Bullet Punch, and as you can see, it doesn't do too much damage, so I assume they are more like defensive, but I could be wrong. Hurricane will just obliterate the Scizor, and now that thing's dead. No more bullet punch priority, which is just a good feeling in general. I like how I haven't even sent out my Kingdra yet, and this is like a rain team, and like the whole point of rain teams is to abuse Kingdra Swift Swim, but I'm better than that. I have different plans in mind for rain, but then comes Latios here, and I don't really have a Draco switch in, so I just kind of just go for extreme speed with Pimp Nut. Just do some last minute damage with Pimp Nut, and I don't even know why I named this thing Pimp Nut. I'm just like so weird. But Draco Meteor is going to knock out my poor Pimp Nut. So I did have to bring Pimp Nut to a theme team, right? Because, you know, Pimp Nut invented the word theme, and like he invented theme teams. So God bless Pimp Nut for helping me deal with the Scizor. But down it goes, and Latios is pretty low at this point. So I decided to bring in my Fruit Loop here, my Tropius, assuming that like they're going to switch out of the Latios because they're at -2, but they decided to go for Recovery instead, which makes sense because Tropius is a rather passive Pokemon. That's what most people think anyway. They think they're going to go for Leech Seeds and stuff, but no, I will go for Dragon Dance, and now I'm like, okay, I'm at +1 attack and speed. I don't think Latios has Ice Beam, and even if it does, I don't think it'll kill me. And they decided to stay in and go for Draco again, and they actually outspeed me because Tropius is just that slow.
Just as I thought. Trash.
And even Jolly Max speed, but Tropius is just so slow. But I thought my opponent would switch out here, so instead of going for Dragon Dance, I kind of misplay and I go for the Substitute. But I guess like it accomplishes the same thing because we're going to Nom 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 on my Lychee Berry. And now we're actually behind a sub, which means like we won't die to the next attack, which is fine. But now Harvest will proc and giving us another Lychee Berry, and now we're at +3 attack. This strategy is so funny. It's not very viable, but it's just fun. It's a fun Tropius set. I love Tropius so much. It's like one of the worst grass types out there, but like, I don't know, it's just like so cool looking. And I'm just glad that Tropius is able to do something here. So Draco will knock out my sub, but like now they're at -6, and I could just go for another Dragon Dance. So hopefully I outspeed Latios. I'm assuming at +2 speed, I can outspeed Latios. Like, I'm like, Tropius, you're bad, but like, are you really this bad? Like, come on now. Now we're at +4 attack and +2 speed. And now I could just go for Fly to stall out some turns for my Lychee Berries to proc. So Draco will miss. Thankfully, it doesn't hit you while you're in the sky, though it would make sense if it did because, you know, Draco Meteors are kind of coming from the sky. But I'm going to go for Fly and knock out the Latios. So down goes Lati. Scizor's dead, which means they can't Bullet Punch me, and that's really huge. That's kind of why I just brought out Tropius and try to set up immediately. We're going to Harvest, get another Lychee Berry, which is very fun. I think I'm at +6 attack or +5 attack. I don't even know. Like, I lost track at this point. I'm not keeping track of anything in this battle because I'm very rusty at singles. I'm just like kind of having fun, or trying to have fun anyway. So I'm going to go for a Fly here just to stall out of one more Lychee Berry if I need to. And it ends up that I'm already at +6 attack because I don't actually eat my Lychee Berry here. So the play there was for sure going for Leaf Blade as opposed to Fly because Fly can miss. It's unlikely, but it can happen, so I should have went for Leaf Blade, but you know what? Fly is just a funny move in general, so Fly is going to OHKO Gliscor, thankfully. Tropius isn't that bad to where Fly doesn't OHKO. I figure +6 stab Fly could KO, but Tropius really is so garbage, so I really wasn't sure. Now, when it comes to the Blaziken, and I'm thinking that, like, okay, they might have Protect, so I don't want to click Fly. So I just click Leaf Blade, because if I click Fly and they don't Protect, and then like they could just Protect next turn, then not speed me after 2 speed boosts. So they do carry Protect and they actually go for it immediately, and I'm like, why would you do that? But I guess it makes sense, but like what if I just click Fly right there? Like they would have just, I guess they could have gotten another Miracle Double Protect like the Clefable, but like, I don't know. So here I just go for Leaf Blade again, because I'm like, there's no way they get a Double Protect, right? There's just no chance. If they go for it and it fails, I win, and if they go for it and they get it, I'll cry. But thankfully I don't go for a Double Protect, I go for Leaf Blade. I don't quite knock out the Blaziken, and now Blaziken's going to obliterate my poor Tropius with the Flare Blitz. So unfortunately Tropius could not sweep, but if it means anything, the Blaziken had to sacrifice its own life to take down the god that is Tropius. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these Wi-Fi battles. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, it really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video, and thank you Dragon City for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check out Dragon City, links will be in the description. But that'll do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll check you guys in my next video.